Batten down the hatches, there's a storm coming, and it's fabulous. Hey guys, it's Phoebe with MsMojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Jinkx Monsoon moments from RuPaul's Drag Race.
I am Seattle's premier Jewish narcoleptic drag queen.
We're showcasing all of Monsoon's best moments from her time on Drag Race. We will be covering her entire season, so a spoiler alert is in order. Let's get to it.
Get ready, bitches, because it's monsoon season!
Number 10, her courtroom scene.
The prosecution would like to submit the murder weapon. A size 3 stiletto. But I wear a size 14!
As season 5 of Drag Race was wrapping up, RuPaul had the top 3 queens play 3 roles in a courtroom drama. Jinkx Monsoon fired on all cylinders, as a laughably shaky attorney with a wacky accent.
Her name is Daisy A. Irwin, and she's a little older than she tries to pass herself off as. And she's just a simple Southern lawyer.
Her witness character also had the most excitingly dramatic reading of their A Few Good Men reference.
You want answers?
We want the tea, stupid!
You can't handle the tea!
Though we got a taste of Jinkx's ability to act while joking in the crying game challenge, she revealed much more comedic range here. She had Alaska laughing at her character motivations, for goodness sake. And with the amount of polish that Monsoon had added to her drag over the season, this scene proved she'd grown as a performer.
Jinkx was the most solid in her characterizations. She has the leading edge in this courtroom drama.
Number 9. Delusion Fragrance.
My perfume is Delusion by Jinkx Monsoon.
For a parody bit on the show, Jinkx created a perfume commercial about a new scent called Delusion. But before she even sat down to film, Monsoon already had her models laughing at the silly story behind their poses.
We just had a kinky three-way, Eiffel Tower, all that stuff.
Her goofy use of legs was interestingly more suggestive than the judges wanted, although they were giggling during her filming session nonetheless.
Our legs are really open for selling perfume.
All of Jinkx's lip licking and zany faces made for great slapstick, though it was her dream narrative and the idea that her fragrance would make users believe in their seductive qualities that elevated this above her other comedic skits.
For the girl with a dream. Delusion. Convince yourself.
Number 8, Bad Swimmer.
Jinkx Monsoon, welcome to the Drag Lagoon!
To gauge everyone's talent from the first episode, RuPaul got his queens to jump in the water for a photo challenge. It was hard not to crack up when Jinkx panicked about the water and sank her modeling. As she comically interjected about her inability to swim, her already humorous flailing only looked funnier. Plus, Monsoon had the laughable misfortune of being blinded immediately.
First time under the water, I lost both my contacts.
Jinkx perfectly accented her messy performance by explaining just how traumatically she'd been taught to swim.
I don't know how to swim. I learned how to swim by one of my uncles pushing me off a log into a river.
So while most queens stumbling over their outfit and body would be a misstep, Monsoon failed so spectacularly that it was memorable in the end.
Just a little tangled.
I think we're gonna have to call it a wrap.
Number 7, Day of the Dead Chic.
You are muy estúpida if you think you are going to take over our familia.
After performing in a Spanish-fueled soap opera, Jinkx and her fellow contestants had to hit the runway to a similarly Latin-inspired theme. And as her opponents mostly flashed some warm colors in Selena-like frocks, Monsoon took unique inspiration from the Mexican Day of the Dead.
Jinkx Monsoon.
Drag of the Dead.
The reveal of her captivating skull makeup was powerful enough to leave Ru breathless, and Jinkx's use of stripes and a layered skirt added a strong mix of patterns to the already spooky look.
Looking spooky and sexy all at the same time.
You know, Jinkx is like all the other supermodels, just skin and bone.
The makeup alone was a significant step up from her competitors' homogeneous outfits. Monsoon's outside-the-box concept reminded fans she wasn't only a thoughtful queen, but one who could spin her knowledge into a knockout runway. Number 6, Water Off a Duck's Back.
When you're dealing with people judging what you do, you just have to let it roll off like water off a duck's back.
When Jinkx got nervous about the judges' critiques and roadblocks in the competition, she often resorted to a surprisingly cute mantra. Her avian catchphrase popped up in the workroom, and when she was on stage plenty of times.
Water off a duck's back. Water off a duck's back.
Adorable as it was, the message of treating mean words like harmless water was a powerful idea. The phrase also helped Jinkx show her more vulnerable side as a nervous person, especially given how often she would repeat it. Heck, even RuPaul praised Monsoon's signature line.
Water off a duck's back, water off a duck's back.
Jinkx, are you all right?
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying water off a duck's back to myself before my critiques.
That's a great mantra.
Coping mechanism or just great branding, water off a duck's back cemented Jinkx as a relatable queen who could still be both fabulous and anxious.
The lights go down, and the last things I say to myself are, I love you, Nana, and water off a duck's back.
Number 5, can I get an amen? Since Jinkx Monsoon had bragged about her singing training, expectations were high for her contributions on a song recording. Monsoon beautifully stacked harmonies with her teammates and avoided stealing the limelight during other people's lines.
No misbehaving.
But as nice as her own verse was, her high note absolutely blew the socks off of everyone else's vocals.
Can I get an amen?
Jinkx sustained her solo for well over 10 seconds before she shockingly brought it back into the mix. It was so remarkable to hear, in fact, that it was difficult not to laugh when Roxy Andrews' mean comments were placed mid-solo.
I feel that Jinkx is the weakest because all these girls with the gimmicks are getting by, and it's kind of pissing me off.
With all the growling fills Monsoon fit in too, Can I Get an Amen was truly when Jinkx revealed that she had talent and then some.
Can I get an amen?
Number 4, Roast. Halfway through season 5, the judges put comedy first with both a trip to the library and a roast. Jinkx wasted no time tearing down her opponents on the stage and used her transition from Coco Montrese to mock her in the most hysterically lewd way possible.
It's gonna be hard to top Coco. But look at her, who would want to top Coco?
However, it was Monsoon's comical stop and a much crasser joke about Michelle that had Ruth screaming with laughter.
Michelle Visage is so full of semen, period. No, seriously, she's a whore.
Jinkx also took the unusual approach of complimenting RuPaul's kindness, only to leave us in tears at her insult to her fellow queens.
Ru, what I admire most about you is your ability to look at these tired queens and always find a compliment for them. You're so full of shit, the toilet's jealous.
Jinkx's confidence and smart delivery was good enough to earn some career praise from Leslie Jordan, though ultimately it was Monsoon's knack of getting all her targets chuckling that kept her routine so enjoyable.
I have 2 words, master comedian.
Number 3, commentary during Telenovela.
I'm nervous because I don't want my very best to be overshadowed by someone else's very worst.
For a Latin soap opera challenge, Jinkx ended up working on a team with Alyssa Edwards and Coco Montrese. Despite being paired with such seasoned queens, Monsoon gave comedic gravitas to her lines and her reaction looks. The cherry on top was her feedback on the confession cams, where she hilariously summed up her over-the-top style with plenty of rolled R's.
I am serving up some Sofia Vergara realness.
And her loud moans were so excessively funny that Ru used her as the benchmark to motivate her teammates. Then again, her side-splitting jab at Alyssa was worth all of that poor acting.
That's your orgasm, Alyssa?
Have you ever had one?
By injecting so much personality into the script and honing in on details, Jinkx presented one of her most iconic performances.
See.
Number 2, Candy Lip Sync.
Detox. Jinkx Monsoon. I'm sorry, my dears, but you are up for elimination.
A rough set of sweet-themed outfits landed Jinkx in the bottom 2, where she would lip-sync to the cheesy operatic style of Malambo No. 1 against Detox.
This is a perfect song for me to play up a shtick.
Luckily, the comedic energy of the intense vocals allowed Monsoon's zany faces to steal the show. Every wow 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 saw her laughably twirl her hips and use her critiqued dress for giggles, though her Latin-inspired dance steps didn't hurt either. Even Alaska couldn't deny Jinkx dance circles around Detox.
I hate to say it, but Detox might be getting outdanced by Jinkx.
But it was Monsoon's ability to tie her comedy into consistent choreography that earned her another chance at the competition. You want to tell me after seeing that lip sync that Jinkx is not a superstar? Well, if you need more proof, just wait till we get to our number 1 pick. But before then, here are some amazing honorable mentions.
Can I open up to you about something? Mm-hmm. I have a crush on Ivy Winters. I definitely can sense those kind of feelings bubbling up. My biggest fear is that this is gonna be done and she's gonna go back to New York and I'm gonna go back to Seattle and I'm gonna be like,
You little scamp, you.
Jinkx Monsoon.
The hair was a little thirsty.
I tried to tease it, but I just pissed it off, I know.
Yeah, it's not.
The main challenge this week is to roast RuPaul, as well as our fellow queens and the judging panel. I just have to kick ass at it because at a drag show, when you bomb, you don't just hear crickets, you hear shotguns getting cocked.
I'd like to present little Tina Lou Devereaux. She wants to make makeup and fashionable accessories more accessible to young girls because it is never too young to start upholding the American ideal of femininity. My name is Princess Pink Lips. Are you guys excited for today's episode? Then let's all bounce and now shake your hands like this. Oh, isn't this fun?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Snatch Game as Little Edie.
Direct from Grey Gardens, it's Little Edie Beale.
Oh, hi, RuPaul.
Rather than playing a modern celebrity for her turn on Snatch Game, Jinkx took a risk on obscure film star Little Edie. Though the reference might not have landed with everyone, Monsoon comically played up Edie's elderly character.
How is Big Edie doing?
She's always begging for the pate, but the label is faded. I can never tell if it's pate or if it's giblets for the cats.
Between her poor spelling bits and a magnifying glass prop, Jinkx's silly antics got RuPaul wheezing repeatedly.
I don't know her personally, but she looks older than Mother Darling, so I said when she steps into the voting booth, she just seizures. Spelling?
She managed to swoop in on Ivy Winter's misstep on a Kennedy gag and turn it into a brilliant riff of her own.
Quite the scandal, actually.
Yes.
With my cousin-in-law, really. It was in all the magazines at the time.
This well-researched character saw Monsoon improvising laughably throughout the Snatch Game to outdo her other comedic highlights on Season 5.
Ru, may I ask you why you couldn't have gotten any real celebrities for this game?
Well,
I don't have a single idea who any of these people are.
The judges may have been skeptical of Jinkx portraying such an unusual character on Snatch Game, but boy, did it ever pay off. What do you guys think? Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments or tweet me at Phoebe_WM. And check out this video.